What's going on, Pixel Hackers? Christian Lovrecich from PixlFeed here. In this video, we're going to talk about the secrets e-commerce pros don't want you to know. But before we get started, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive right in. All right, so you want to start an e-commerce store, or you've done it in the past and you have failed. Well, I can tell you right now, if you're going to start your first e-commerce store, you're probably going to fail unless you have an amazing product that no one else has. And the chances of that happening are probably 0.0000001%. So make sure to watch this video until the end so I can give you those secrets so you're prepared and you can be successful, because I want all of you to be successful. That's why I made this channel in the first place, and that's why it's free. All right, so secret number one, believe it or not, is read books on the subject. Like, if you want to learn something, you go to school, right? You have to read books. So I'm going to mention a few books that completely changed my life. One is The Lean Startup. You got Cash Advertising. There's a customer born every minute. The story of P.T. Burnham. Seth Godin, Purple Cow. What else? So good they can't ignore you. Look for those books that are about e-commerce, about marketing. Blue Ocean, Red Ocean, that's a very important one. Make sure to look for those books. Read them as you go. I will suggest you read them before you go. And don't tell me that you don't have time to read, because you know what? If I can find time to read, you can find time to read too. Here's a little hack. You know what I do? I get the books on audio and I listen to them when I go to the gym. And then I can go back to the physical book because I get both. So make sure to look for those books. Start educating yourself on the subject, especially stuff like CRO, conversion rate optimization, because it's not about just traffic. Number two, drop shipping. And since you're on YouTube right now, the side of your screen or the bottom of your phone, when you scroll down, you're gonna watch all this. There's all these videos about drop shipping, how I made 3 million with drop shipping and all that good stuff. I can tell you right now, there's very, very few people that can do this. And the people that can launch a store and make, I don't know, 100 grand in a couple weeks or in one day, they are total seasoned pros that know what they're doing, okay? And I can tell you right now, with iOS 14, I don't know, man. I'll be a little iffy of what's out there. Remember, a lot of these videos about drop shipping are from when I started, a decade ago, or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when it used to be a lot easier. Can you still do it? Yeah, but you have to know what you're doing. So if you're starting out and this is your first try to build an e-commerce brand or a store, you can start with drop shipping, but drop shipping is for testing purposes. Once you test, you get the hang of it and you validate the product, then you want to turn it into a brand. Because when you turn it into an actual brand, now you're building an asset that's worth money. Anybody can make a drop shipping store, but guess what? When you build a brand, no one can take that brand name away from you. And if you do it correctly, it can be worth millions of dollars at one point and even billions of dollars at one point. So remember, drop shipping is for testing, no long-term goals. Because I can tell you right now, drop shipping is a headache. When you're drop shipping straight from China, there's gonna be defective products, customer service, long shipping times. Even when you move everything to the States, then you gotta find a 3PL, third-party logistics company that can handle all the products to go out, unless you're gonna do it at home. And you don't wanna do that if you're trying to blow everything up. You wanna do it step by step, slowly but surely type of deal, all right? Very important, especially nowadays after iOS 14. High margin products, all right? You want products that have a high perceived value. What is perceived value? Think about watches, think about jewelry, think about anything that's gold, silver. Those are high perceived values. Those are products that you can find and you can have a huge markup on them. All right, some of them I've seen as high as 90% markup. So what does that mean? That you pay your overhead is low, but profits are high. And now in a post iOS 14 world, I can tell you that advertising costs are super high. So your cost per acquisition is not $10 anymore per client on a $50 product. It's probably more like 30. It depends, what your account is. If it's a loaded account, then yeah, it might be cheaper. But if it's a brand new account, I can assure you it's going to be very expensive. So high margin products. Now, this is one of the most important things you're going to learn about this. Not only high margin products, versus there's a few things that go with that. Now you need complementary products, right? What are complementary products? Think of a burger combo, burger, fries, and a Coke. Products are going to give you upsells and downsells, cross sells, so you can have a higher AOV, average order value. The higher your average order value is, the better you're going to do and the more money you can spend. Like Dan Kennedy, famous words by Dan Kennedy, one of the best marketers out there. Whoever spends the most wins at the end. So the higher your AOV, that means you can spend the most on ads and everything else, and you're going to win because you have a high margin product. But that's not all of them. What's the other trick to this? You don't want to sell people just once. You want to keep bringing them back. So you have to find reoccurring products, okay? What does that mean? You want products where you're able to make new collections, bring new collections depending on the season, right? New products, new graphic tees, new versions of it. You want your returning customers to come back and get more from you. So you have, what do you call it? Think of products new collections that need replacements. So think of a printer. When you buy a printer, why are printers so cheap? Well, because they sell you the ink. They want you to come back for the ink. And guess what? You can only get the ink from them most of the time. I'm sure you can get resold somewhere else or whatever, but that's how they make money. They keep coming you back for more, right? So recurring products. Think of subscription boxes. Can you create some type of subscription where people sign up and the average subscription individual stays for 3 months? So now your average order value can be like $900 if you have a $300 subscription box, right? Don't ever think with your own pockets, right? Especially if you're broke. Like I'm telling you, people will spend the money if the products are quality. And I can tell you right now, if a customer has a good experience, they have a 40% higher of coming back and buying more from you. Like one of my stores has I think it's like 45% returning clients every month. And it's not even a subscription box. So that tells you right there, if you have a quality product, they're gonna come back and they're gonna buy more from you when you put out new products, right? Why are companies like, Nike and Reebok so successful? Because they're always putting out new stuff and it's quality, so people keep coming back for more, right? What is another trick that's gonna set you aside from the pack? Very important one. If you can pull this off, this can make you very, very successful. Handmade products, all right? When you hand make products, you have control of inventory, meaning you don't have to buy bulk and keep it in a warehouse. You can make your products on the go. So as the orders come in, you can make up the products when you're starting out, because when you're starting out, you're gonna be slow. You don't wanna go crazy right away. So, when you do that, it's easier to keep up with the orders. It's cheaper to get the materials, separate materials from all over the place, and then put in the product together yourself or with a friend or something like that. And now the kicker on the handmade product, guess what? It gives you a higher margin. Why is that? Because if you made it with your own hands, especially if you're in the US and you say, hey, I made this with my own hands here in the good old USA, and you're selling in the USA, guess what? People are going to buy it because people want to support people who make stuff here in the US or whatever country you're in. Think about it. Any country that you're in, you can do the same thing. People will value it because it's made in that country, right? And it's a higher perceived quality, which gives you room to play with higher margin products, right? Therefore, bringing your profits up, which, what does that mean? If you've been listening, you can spend more and you'll make more, right? You'll beat your competition out of the way. The other thing that you have to do, especially if this is your first store, because this is going to make your life much, much easier. And for you to it's going to be easier to break into a newer audience, right? You want to niche down. You want to niche down as much as you can. What do I mean by that? Don't think of I just used the candle example, right? So let's say you're making candles. All right. Well, if you're trying to run ads for a candle, or you're trying to do SEO for a candle, or a YouTube channel for a candle, if you just use the word candle, yeah, a lot of people are searching for candles. but the competition, the volume is so high that you as a noob is going to be, for your brand, it's going to be so hard for it to stand out that it's really not. It's going to take forever and a lot of money for you to break into that, right? So at one point, you can certainly do that once you establish your brand, but you want to niche down as hard as you can. So what do I mean by that? Okay, you can niche down one notch, what I call one notch. And then you can go, instead of just candles, let's do, what do I like? I don't know, heavy metal candles, right? Because I like heavy metal, if you guys haven't noticed that by now, right? So now I'm niched down to heavy metal candles that I can make them like black and like make the cool like design or whatever. But what if I told you that I can niche down one more, right? Because I know there's people out there that are just as passionate as I am about the music I listen to, right? And I can niche down even one more. We're gonna find even a higher passionate audience, and that's gonna be what I listen to. Thrash metal candles, right? There's a genre inside heavy metal called thrash metal, and there's death metal. So I just want you to get the example. So if now you're making thrash metals candles, it could be a candle that's black with that looks like a Slayer album or something, or a Metallica album or something. I will buy it in a heartbeat. If that comes across my feed, I will buy it in a heartbeat. And guess what? When you niche down this hard, like 3 steps in, the targeting is so much easier on every ads platform, and the algorithm is gonna nail it a lot easier. And people that are passionate buy on the spot. They're most likely to pull the trigger right away. So niche down as hard as you can. That comes back to the book that I told you about, Blue Ocean, Red Ocean. Make your own blue ocean inside a red ocean full of sharks, right? So next thing you know, don't go out there and make a million candles. Test your designs. Test your products with a small audience. So you want to validate your products, right? I talked about this before. I have another video somewhere here when I first started that nobody watched. It's like, run an engagement campaign for $5 a day for a week and post a picture of 2 of your products and say, which one do you like, A or B? Will you buy it? And people will tell you, totally, I will buy it. I need it right now. Here's my money. Test it. Go out there and make a few. Go out to like a trunk show or something. Try to sell them out of the back of your car at an event or something. You know, if I was making heavy metal candles, I just went to a Metallica concert last week. I would be selling them outside the trunk of my car. You know what I mean? Test your product. And don't ask your friends, because your friends are going to lie to you. They're going to be like, oh yeah, it's awesome. Go for it. Because they don't have the balls to tell you the truth. So don't trust your friends or your family when it comes to this. Don't even check with them. Just do it. Just do it and let the market decide for you. All right? Next thing that I really want you to know, especially in the iOS 14 world, I want you to start with organic. I want you to start with organic first. Don't just go straight to the ads. I know it's easy to go straight to the ads, especially if you have the money, but especially in a post-iOS 14 world, it's gonna be really hard to warm up an ad account, right? And now you have tools like Conversion AI, I'll put the link in the description in there, where you can literally pump out blogs on a daily basis, right? And then you can sign up for a platform like Harrow, Help a Reporter Out, and just answer questions that people are asking, and they'll backlink you to their sites. And if you're putting out a blog a day using Conversion AI, which literally is that you press a button and it spits out a blog for you full of keywords, you're gonna start ranking organically. And guess what happens when you rank organically? Then you can run ads to a warm audience. They already know who you are, so it's easier to get them to convert and purchase from you. Okay, another thing you can do, it's called product seeding. Just reach out to influencers, send them a sample, and micro influencers will post it for you. They'll be like, if they love your product, they will post it for you for free. So that helps your SEO. Build a community. That's the future too. You gotta build a community of people who are passionate about your brand and are passionate about your products. And you do a lot of that with influencers and organic content. Once you have that nailed down all the way, then go for it and add gasoline to the fire by running the ads, all right? Or you can start ads from day one, but I'm telling you, you wanna be building an organic strategy at the same time. And last but not least, subscribe to this channel. Help a brother out with the algorithm. Smash the like button, share it with your friends. I've been doing this for a while. I want to see this channel keep growing, so help me out with that. Anyway, I hope you guys like this. I hope this helps you out a ton because there's a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of lies out there. So this is the best advice that I can give anybody. And I thought about it because I was talking to one of my friends over the weekend when I was out of town. So if you guys want to keep learning about e-commerce, Facebook ads, and digital marketing in general, or marketing in general, check out one of the videos right above me. And I will see you guys in the next video.